Good morning, David Combe here with the CBS AM Debrief. It's Tuesday, the 12th of October 2011, and we're just coming up past 8 AM here in the Sydney office. And overnight, some really strong moves. It's pretty nice to see. In fact, the biggest move in the Dow since in 6 weeks, so up 330 points, or 2.97%, near enough to 3%. The S&P 500 broader index up nearly 3.5%, and Nasdaq up 3.5% exactly. The only index in the North Americas or the Americas was Toronto, down 1.63. Not quite sure what might have caused that, but Mexico certainly up there, and Brazil as well. In Europe, similar sorts of moves, not to quite the same extent, and it almost seems like that news out of France and Germany there that they will be putting together a plan to address the debt concerns by the end of November was taken with greater cheer in the United States and North America than it was in Europe there. But they've had some pretty good run-ups in recent weeks, I guess, and perhaps they're a little bit more circumspect about just what this plan will amount to. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. So looking at Europe, there we had the DAX up 3 most of all. Sorry, no, not quite. Milan up 3.67, and Stockholm up 3.27, and the FTSE up 1.8. The Euro Stoxx 50 up 2.27, and Madrid up just 1.07. Yesterday we ended up, on the back of that news, we got quite a good lift here, so we're up nearly 40 points, sorry. The Hang Seng just up 4, and the Nikkei up 83. We're not actually seeing those futures numbers to see what's happening in our region. Let's see if we can click through to that now. Okay, Bloomberg looks like they've gone and changed the layout here of the futures markets. Maybe we can click down here, more stock futures. Okay, so we're posting, or proposal here is that we see a 55-point move up on open, up to 4,252. So that's looking pretty positive, certainly in our neck of the woods. Looking now to the commodities space, we have West Texas moved up pretty strongly here, nearly $3 up to be at 85.91. On the rest of the agricultural space, there's really only a couple of red figures, those being canola and cocoa, rough rice and wool. Otherwise, we've got some pretty strong gains, particularly with sugar, 4.45% up. And cotton, orange juice, both up around 1 1/3. Lumber up 3 1/3 there. Soy up quite strongly as well, a little bit over 1 1/2. And to have a look at the metals, we saw copper move up 10 cents, or 3.15%. Gold putting in a strong showing here, up 2.55. Silver a little bit more so, up 3.65. So that's starting to look like it might be breaking out of that bit of consolidation we saw there with silver, and gold starting to certainly put in some pretty meaningful additions there. With currencies, euro buying 1.3647, the pound buying 1.5668, US dollar buying 76.69 yen, the Aussie buying 99.89. So getting pretty close back to parity there, and didn't think we'd see it quite this soon here on the Aussie. The US dollar is buying 1.0263 Canadian and 0.9035 Swiss francs. Let's take a look at the economic calendar here. Okay, so we saw the German trade balance figures come in yesterday at 11.8 billion. Expectation was for 9, so that's pretty sizable increase there, and I guess that just goes to show that rest of Europe's might be pretty anemic, but Germany really does remain the powerhouse there, and it sort of makes sense that that's happening there. Having said that, it's interesting to look at Europe and see that collectively that is the largest economy in the world, coming in around $15 trillion, with the United States running just behind at around 14, and then China around 10. So the concern there, of course, is zero or backward growth in what is the biggest economy in the world. Really doesn't augur well for the rest of us. And I guess that's the concern in all this excitement we see here, that this is simply a rally in a bear market, and with that huge economic zone putting on almost no growth, and the similar story with the United States, then we know that we're hanging our hat on China there for growth, and whether or not that's up to the task in light of those other big economies, I guess, remains to be seen. But it's certainly grounds to remain cautious and to be prepared to hedge one's position pretty quickly. Anyway, moving on. Today we have Chinese new yuan loans for September coming out. Expectations 550 billion there. The foreign exchange reserves coming in at 3.3 trillion. Sorry, getting my telephone numbers mixed up here a bit. We've got Japanese machine tool orders coming out a little bit. Not sure about the time there. Then we've got credit card spending in New Zealand, house price balances out of the UK, trade balance. We've got business confidence out here, which will be an interesting one to watch. Then we've got more wealth of Japanese data out, mostly second tier, but we've got monthly economic report out, which is first tier. Industrial production and manufacturing production out of the UK, and then housing starts out of Canada before we lead into tomorrow. Okay, let's have a look at the Falcon Trader here for a minute, if we can get it to come up. Okay, computer's caught up with itself here. Okay, just following up on a couple that I've been talking about in previous sessions. EWC, Energy World Corporation, just bouncing off this low down around the mid to low 40s, which is actually got into this trade up around the mid 50s, so sort of holding on to that with the hope and pray method rather than using stop loss, and fairly high conviction for this particular stock. And saw an announcement come through yesterday that one of the a US fund has acquired around a 5% stake in Energy World Corporation there, so that's a reasonably positive bit of news there. They've got some instos coming in and taking up some equity positions there. Okay, let's move on and have a look at a couple of the trades that we've talked about. If we can get this to respond in a timely fashion. Okay, and that's that cotton position, cotton trade. I'll just scrunch that up. Really looks to be doing absolutely nothing at the moment. But if you take a look at that one historically, you can probably see where we're coming from, and combine that with some of the fundamentals, fundamental issues, including weather events, droughts, floods, and so on. you can probably see why we think this is pretty attractive and also quite low risk. We know that if the trade's underneath this level here, that's probably where we need to get out of the trade. Okay, moving on from cotton, we have perennial favourite here at Luca, and that really has gone, in this case, up by the lift, whereas normally the old adage, up by the stairs and down by the lift or escalators. We're seeing a little bit of an opposite play out here with the Luca, really an explosive move off that $12 level, which, if we look at back here, was potentially a fairly, hindsight is a wonderful thing, but a fairly significant level of support there. We've had that previous work on that level, so probably wouldn't expect it to get at this stage much further up past $17, or maybe that's a level to look at taking a profit, or even before there, depending on when you got in and at what sort of time frame you're happy to hold on for. I'd expect though that we'd see some consolidation around this level here between 15 and 17, but rather than expect it to see it just continue to shoot right up here, but I guess we'll just have to see on that one. Okay, looking at one of the gold stocks, Kingsgate Consolidated, again putting in pretty good showing here. Probably do a little bit of work here around $8. Medusa, back at the top of the VectorVest value, safety and timing list here, and back down around this 650, 680 level. Clearly was not bad. We were going down and retesting the August 9 lows there, and for a lot of stocks that's proven to be a pretty safe level to be buying back in at, and I think $8 on that's pretty realistic pretty soon. Moving right along, ResMed. We've broken above that $3. Does look like we are going to find 310 a bit of a challenge, so I probably wouldn't be adding to any positions at this particular point right there. St Barbara continue to make or grind higher here, building up quite nicely on this. I'll just squeeze that down a little bit. Actually sort of going into a bit of a pennant formation there, where we could perhaps expect to see a bit of a breakout and then a run back up to test 240. And then a couple of new little gold stocks, although according to the press releases, these two are going to make a combined gold resource company of quite some significant market capitalisation, and that's the Focus Minerals takeover for Crescent Gold, been announced in the last week or so. So starting to see a little bit of consolidation in that sector, probably a little bit overdue, but yeah, moved up 10% since those lows here, so we're at 6.5 to 6.6 cents. And then the takeover candidate is Crescent, and really not doing very much here. So might have to do a little bit more research into what's going on there and report back at the next session. Okay, well, sorry for going on a little bit too long there. Until next time, happy trading, and should be in for a pretty good day today, so all the best with that. Till then, bye for now.